Hi guys, and welcome back. This is the Newcastle United media experience. If you've been watching some of my earlier videos in the season, I would have taught you that for the first time ever, Newcastle United have been contacting the likes of me for media passes regarding the women's team and also perks with Newcastle United's main team. So with an example being with the main team is that we were actually invited in for the Carabao Cup game versus Crystal Palace at the end of last year, where we got to go to Eddie Howe's press conference after the game, meet the man himself and just experience St James's Park behind the scenes. It's an incredible opportunity and I'm extremely grateful being in a position thanks to you guys where the club actually wants me to do stuff for them. So yeah, I'm going to show you the full media experience today, what happens on a women's match day, what perks do we get behind the scenes. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about it and tell you a few little stories about Amanda Staveley as well. So if you guys like what you're watching, make sure to get down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button as well. Make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Without further ado, let's get into it. This, of course, is Kingston Park, 10,200 capacity stadium. This is where Newcastle United women's team played a large majority of their home matches this season. And quite an interesting story about Kingston Park, actually. Well, the obvious thing being is that it's owned from Newcastle Falcons. Newcastle United does not own this ground anywhere. So in order for us to play our home matches here, Amanda Staveley has to more or less rent the pitch every single time. So of course in some match weeks she might not be able to get Kingston Park, but she will generally buy this stadium for whenever Newcastle want to play here. I've done a lot of research online, and on a match day experience, it will honestly cost Amanda Staveley between £9,000 to £15,000 per match just to have the women's team play. Yeah, that is mental, by the way. That's well over 100 grand a season just going into home matches at Kingston Park to make sure that we can get more fans in and to give the girls the best possible experience, which just shows the testament of just how much effort and commitment the ownership has. And not just the men's team, but the women's team as well. There's no financial gain to get from that. And a big thing in that as well, actually, is that the only money the ownership would get back from buying out Kingston Park is the tickets going through the turnstile. You wouldn't get anything for the food and drink because, again, we don't own that. So it'd just be a case where we pay Kingston Park money and they just give us staff members for the day and obviously let us use the ground. So I just thought I'd let you know that, just show how much commitment Amanda Staveley actually puts into the girls' team. Unbelievable. After collecting the media pass, this was one thing you used to be able to do a few months ago before a media agreement has came into place. So a media agreement is basically a contract that Newcastle United sends out to anyone that wants a media pass for the game on things you can and can't do on a match day. So one of the things you used to be able to do, you used to be able to go on the pitch before the game so you can just walk around, see the players training quite literally right in front of you. When Amanda and Murder are here, of course, they'll walk around the pitch and greet the players and the staff, so of course you can go up to them and meet them. You used to be able to record them as well because there wasn't an agreement at the time, so quite literally any content creator can just go over, "Hi Amanda, here's an interview." The club doesn't like it, but at the time they couldn't really do anything about it. So the media agreement now, one thing you can't do is interview the ownership without permission of the club. You can't walk on the pitch anymore. You can still go behind the dugout, to be fair, so if you want to meet the owners, you kind of can still do that. But you're not allowed to walk around the pitch before the game. I've got to agree with the club on that one, to be fair. I think it's highly unprofessional. I mean, imagine if, for example, like somebody just walking around and doing what I want before the game. It doesn't look too great. So I can kind of get the club on that one. And finally, one thing you can't do is record any match footage at Kingston Park. So this is something I can understand the club saying it was content creators, but nobody from the club records the Kingston Park games. So let's say you're a Newcastle fan, watched us at home. How do you watch the women's games? Quite literally, you can't. St James's Park is the only game where they actually show match highlights. So that's one thing I've got to say. Well, listen, just either get somebody to record the game, or if nobody record the game this season, just let content creators do it because there's no rules in the league at stake otherwise. So I mean, that's something I probably would contest with, but ultimately, yeah, I think Newcastle eventually will get somebody recording this on a match day basis. It's just a case that you just can't see it at the minute. But yeah, they're the big changes to the media agreement. So this here is my seat for the match of the chairs. And I honestly will say it's probably the second best seat in the house, with the only exception being the boxes just above me. That's where all the representatives of the club will sit. So some examples, the likes of Steve Hart been starting to come to these games, Darren Neal, Dan Ashford, and of course Amanda and Murder. So as for the media area itself, so just on the left of me, normally where the content creators are. So we've got Newcastle Fans TV in today. On the right of me will be where the Newcastle women's media team will sit, as well as our journalists. So it just depends who turns up. Today on Mother's Day, there's not too many here, to be honest, and it's also the same with the fans. I think fan-wise, it's probably about 2,000 people here. On a normal match day, you're supposed to have the development team as well, which is Newcastle United's women's second team, but they have a match at the same time, which is why they're not here. And finally, as for photographers, we've only got 2 today, but we normally get about 6 or 7 in. So as for my desk area, this is where I do all my hard work. I drink my Coke and just sit here and talk through the game. You got a Wi-Fi code here, so I mean, we've got all the VIP luxuries. But honestly, I can't complain, it's a decent area sitting.
Kingston Park, Newcastle United winning 1,
The first half is over and the second half is now commenced. Newcastle are 1-0 up against Norton and Stockton. Quite literally, the penalty in the first 10 seconds of the game is what separates the match so far. It's great to see Rachel Lee score as well. It's her first goal, I believe, since she came back. Had a really nasty injury last season, so it's good to see her returning the goal. Game-wise, I think Newcastle are the more likely team to score the second goal, but it's been quite a close game. I will say Norton and Stockton have definitely got something in this, so we'll see what happens second half. Oh, 2-0. Never mind, we're 2-0 up now. We don't know who scored, but 2-0, and as I was just saying, close game so far, not anymore. Katie Barker with goal number 2, no idea how I won him because I didn't even see the bloody thing, but 2-0 up now. Katie Barker, the player that you need to turn up on big occasions, she always does it. And yeah, I fancy Newcastle win this game now. It's been a close one, but I think that second goal is finally going to be the one that puts too much pressure on Norton and Stockton. Uno, dos, tres. There is 3-0. Casey Howson with the third. What a goal that one is. Definitely the best one of the game so far. I mean, this is just an absolute field day for us now. We really put the pressure on Norton and Stockton. Very good. The first top was a bit flat, so we'll see the second half. We're going again, might be number 4, yeah. Oh my god, what the hell's going on? That's still 3, but I tell you what, this is definitely turned up now. Really good from the girls. It wasn't 4-0 before, it is now. Georgia Gibson, the goal scorer. PE teacher during the week, baller on the weekend. One personal feature I really like as well about this is actually you get your own server here. Oh, pasty guys, stop spilling my Coke. But I couldn't be asked to go down, so I just went and got him to get his drink. I mean, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for getting the drink. Cheers, hi, cheers. The full time at Kingston Park. This is an exclusive area where people in the media can go after the game. So you come down here, you show your pass off, and you're allowed to go and interview any of the players you want after the game. Now, due to the fact that the players are contracted to Newcastle United, if you ask a player, for example, let's say Katie Barker walks out, I go to Katie, hello, can I interview Katie? She's supposed to say yes. Obviously, if, for example, she needs to get home, then you can be lenient and go, oh, okay, that's fine. But normally the players are supposed to accept your interview request because for some people this is your livelihood and you need to get your interviews so you can put your articles or your videos out. So the players are supposed to accept your request. So whenever they come out, you can go over and say hello to them. For me, it can be a little bit awkward sometimes because especially if it's, let's say that if I lose a game or the players are exhausted after the game, you can kind of tell. I know a few of these players personally, I can kind of tell if they can't be asked to do them. So it's a bit awkward sometimes, but ultimately you just got to get them done. So
feet are quite level and on the ground at the moment. Obviously, it's just one game at a time mentality. You've got to really manage your emotions, embrace them. Obviously, Tuesday was a massive high for us. And you just sort of need to keep yourself level-headed and ensure as you get that consistency.
Yeah, we're feeling good. I think it's it's been an emotionally and physically exhausting week to get through 2 games and to make sure our concentration and focus and energy levels are nice and high to make sure we're getting 3 points in both games. But the only thing we can focus on is that next game, and we're working very hard behind the scenes with the players and staff to make sure we're fully prepared for each game that comes. And we knew Norton would be a tough test. They're a team that's been in this league for many years and we've got some good players. So Holly Manders has just signed from Sunderland, so we knew her quality. So we had to be on it, we had to be prepared. But I'm just absolutely delighted we came through it again. 4-0 win, another clean sheet and 3 points.
Must feel like a superstar going around and sign autographs and getting pictures taken. Just how's it feel for you on a personal basis?
it's good to know that you're just inspiring a lot of people and that you can be a role model for so many people. I mean, just the lifestyle that we can have and ensuring all these girls grow up with good values, and it's really important that they have that for education purposes too.
Just how important is it for you that we get it done this season or last year? We only just slipped away last minute, so it's crucial for us to get promoted, you know it is. So just how are you feeling for that St James's Park game? How can we get behind the team to make sure we get all the results in?
Yeah, we're desperate to go up. We want to make sure that we're preparing every game so that that's achievable, and we want to compete in Tier 3, and that's why we're pushing, and we want to give the players the best opportunity to enjoy playing here in the highest levels possible with Newcastle United. But yeah, the game at St James's, we're obviously absolutely, words don't even describe how excited we are for that game. We love playing there the past 2 times we have against Alnwick and Barnsley, and we want to make sure that the Geordie support is helping the girls gain another 3 points en route to winning this league. So we're focusing on one at a time, but we're especially looking forward to the one at St James's.
Of course we are. Well, hopefully we'll win the league this season.
Yep.
Best of luck, but I'm confident in the team. You know
Cheers.
you're better give your team. We'll get it done. So
Thanks,
wish you all the
Adam.
best.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching the video today. Good chance to actually show you through a media experience at Newcastle United, to show you what happens to content creators behind the scenes, what bits and bobs that we get from a regular fan. Is it worth it for the women's team in the end? For me, definitely yes. Even if you're not the biggest fan of women's football, the club needs the women's team to do well, because financial fair play. Let's say Newcastle women's team gets to the Champions League, so of course we've got to go through all the leagues to get there. But the club is allowed to spend more money because of the revenue we generate from the women's team. So it does actually benefit the main team. So even if you, for example, watching this video, you're not too fussed about the women's team, you still want them to do well because it benefits Newcastle United as a whole. But honestly, for me, I like watching the girls. I do. I like watching the football. It's good to get behind. It's great meeting loads of fans as well, and just it's a bit more of a relaxing match day. I think I can sit back, I can just relax, because I know the women's team win every bloody week. So it's great for us. And it's just great to get down here and see so many people. So I highly recommend it. One more home match of the season. It is the one at St James's Park. So make sure you get yourselves along. I'm expecting over 30,000. I think it will be a record attendance once again, just due to the fact that it's a huge game for Newcastle. That I think will really put us on track to win the league if we win the one at St James's Park. So hope you guys enjoy watching. Make sure to let me know your thoughts down below. And I'll see you all in the next one.